Welcome to Business with Louis, the show where we dive into the world of entrepreneurship and explore the concepts and strategies that can help you succeed. Today, we're going to talk about user testing on a budget, a crucial aspect of business that can make or break your product or service. So, what is user testing on a budget? Simply put, it's the process of testing your product or service with real users to understand their needs, preferences, and pain points. This concept is essential in business because it helps you validate your ideas, reduce risk, and create something that truly resonates with your target market. The origin of user testing on a budget can be traced back to the lean startup movement, which emphasizes rapid experimentation and customer feedback. Influential thinkers like Eric Ries and Steve Blank have popularized this approach, and it has since become a cornerstone of modern entrepreneurship. The key idea is to test your product or service with a small group of users, gather feedback, and iterate quickly. This approach allows you to validate your assumptions, identify potential problems, and make data-driven decisions. One of the most influential models associated with user testing on a budget is the Build, Measure, Learn loop. This framework, developed by Eric Ries, suggests that entrepreneurs should build a minimum viable product, measure its success, and learn from the feedback. This cycle should be repeated continuously to ensure that your product or service meets the evolving needs of your customers. Our understanding of user testing on a budget has evolved significantly over time. Initially, it was seen as a luxury only big companies could afford. However, with the rise of digital tools and platforms, user testing has become more accessible and affordable for businesses of all sizes. Let's look at some real-world examples of user testing on a budget in action. Companies like Airbnb, Uber, and Dropbox have all used user testing to refine their products and services. For instance, Airbnb's founders conducted extensive user testing to understand the needs of their target market, which helped them create a platform that is both user-friendly and profitable. Another great example is the story of Warby Parker, an eyewear company that used user testing to validate its business model. The company's founders conducted surveys, interviews, and focus groups to understand the needs of their target market, which helped them create a product that resonates with customers. First, it's essential to start small and test your product or service with a minimum viable audience. This approach will help you validate your assumptions and identify potential problems without breaking the bank. Second, be sure to use digital tools and platforms that can facilitate user testing, such as survey software, usability testing tools, and social media platforms. These tools can help you reach a wider audience, gather feedback quickly, and make data-driven decisions. Third, don't be afraid to iterate and refine your product or service based on feedback. User testing is an ongoing process, and it's essential to be open to change and willing to pivot when necessary. Finally, consider the concept of minimum viable product when implementing user testing on a budget. An MVP is a product or service that has just enough features to satisfy early customers and provide feedback for future development. By launching an MVP, you can test your assumptions about your product and gather feedback from customers without investing too much time and resources. Research findings also support the importance of user testing in entrepreneurship. A study by CB Insights found that the top reason why startups fail is because they don't meet a market need. User testing can help entrepreneurs validate their ideas and ensure that they are meeting a real need in the market. Another study by Nielsen Norman Group found that usability testing can increase conversion rates by up to 200%. By conducting user testing, entrepreneurs can identify areas for improvement and make data-driven decisions to optimize their products and services. In addition to these findings, it's also important to consider the concept of customer validation. Customer validation is the process of verifying that your product or service meets the needs and wants of your target market. By conducting user testing and gathering feedback, you can validate your assumptions about your customers and create a product or service that truly resonates with them. In conclusion, user testing on a budget is a powerful tool for entrepreneurs and businesses looking to create products and services that meet the needs of their target market. By understanding the core principles of user testing, learning from real-world examples, and applying practical tips and strategies, you can validate your ideas, reduce risk, and build something that truly resonates with your customers. That's it for today's Business with Louis. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. And remember, every great business starts with action. Make your next move count.